All right. Good evening, you guys. Good evening, cousins. Good evening, Arlene and Mary. Good evening, No Love. Who else we got in here? Good evening, Demita. How are y'all doing tonight? Mhm. Just wanted to come on here for a few minutes. Good evening, Alyssa and Teresa. How are y'all doing tonight? Good evening, Tequila. When you guys come in, if you could like the live. Good evening, Neomia. I hope I said that right. Me too. I made some baked chicken with rice and cabbage for dinner tonight, and I am full. I'm good, Alyssa. Just winding down my evening. It's been a busy. It's been a busy week and a half. Actually, it's been a little busier probably for the past month with school starting, and my girls just started school at the end of last week, and uh just getting back in the groove of school and things like that. I just ate burrito. Ooh, I love those. All right, good evening, Deborah. Oh, hi, cousin Angie. Oh, wow. I miss you too. How have you been? I've actually met Angie, Lady of Teas that you guys see in here, cousin. I actually met her in Chicago. So I got to spend a lot of time with her, and I absolutely adore her. Such a good person. Good evening, Barbara. Good evening, Esther. What do y'all think about what do y'all think about this? Y'all already know where I'm going. I don't need to take a lot of time to get to the point, but what do y'all think about this latest crap with Carmen? I'm telling y'all, she is hilarious. If she's nothing else, she is kind of the butt of all jokes. She's the circus clown. She's the star of the circus. I was going through uh the motion that Corinna's attorney filed, and to break it up in a nutshell, Corinna is going to have the ability to gather all of the necessary information that she needs to go after all of her money that she is owed. She's going to be able to have access to those bank accounts, anything with Carmen's name on it. And I mean anything that's associated back to Carmen, Karina's going to be able to take. And there's not going to be nothing that Carmen is going to be able to do about it. And you know what else the court is going to do? You know what else? Something that Carmen hasn't been doing. See, the problem is Carmen talks too much. Carmen opens her mouth, she puts her foot in her mouth, and then she ends up paying for that. And so, because Carmen keeps getting online, talking, she's she's going to get herself into a lot of trouble. And I'm not talking just by the courts, you guys. I'm talking about the IRS. Because whenever you have any type of judgment of this magnitude, They are going to, I'm talking dig deep. They're going to look into all of her finances. They're going to get into um her credit cards if she has any. They're going to get into her bank account. They're going to look at past IRS tax filings, which she probably doesn't have any or minimal. And then they're going to look at things moving forward. They are going to freeze her account. I can almost guarantee you the bank accounts that she has, Cash App, whatever she utilizes to stream in income, they're going to find and they're going to start putting levies on all of these things. You guys, she has that trailer. That's an asset. No matter how big or small it is, it's still an asset. And Corinna is going to have stake in a lot of her assets. They're going to make her liquidate everything. Everything. Thank you. Oh, let me see. Uh-oh. Did I miss something, you guys? Hold on. I've been better. Was in the hospital yesterday having severe. Oh, I adore you. Oh, I am okay. So tell me, how are you feeling now, Angie? I hope those headaches subsided. And I hope they gave you something to feel better with that. Get plenty of rest. Hello to everybody that's just joining. We're just kind of breaking down the Carmen shenanigans, the latest with the motion that Corinna filed. Good evening, cousin Kim and Nick. Good evening. Always talks too much. That's her problem. That's why, when people in her camp or her followers are telling her to be quiet and she's like, I'm not gonna be quiet. I encourage Carmen to keep talking. I encourage Carmen to keep, you know, exposing who she is. I want her to keep going on these tours with her carnival because that's showing that one, she has the ability to make money. Two, she is making, no matter if it's a couple hundred, couple thousand, she is making money. So that's going to prove to the court that the money is streaming in somewhere. Where is it at? She definitely takes tap pay. Remember, we have proof that people pay with credit cards. So it's going into some account, whether it's a prepaid account, a Cash App account, or a bank account, it's going into an account. So she's going to have to come off of all of that information because now it's court order. And what happens if she doesn't comply to the court order? She's going to be held in contempt. Now, I don't know what the judge would consider, like the penalties of that. I'm not a lawyer, but I know it's not going to be good because she's playing on this internet and she says she's making money. She says she's the queen of Atlanta. If she's the queen of Atlanta, then she should be making money. Enough so that she should begin paying Corinna, even if it's $100 a week. We know that you're broke, but you should be giving her something. That's just what you do. In good faith, you try to pay something. All right, let's look here. Kim said her and Tay have recent lives in the past few months showing her customer life. Yes, and her events. Tay was just in Honduras. She was just spending money for her birthday. And y'all know y'all seen Carmen at the carnivals. Good evening, Tina. Good evening, Edith. Oh, yeah, definitely a levy. I mean, they can freeze a bank account really quick, and whatever the judge decides, they are going to have to uphold it, the bank. And there's nothing Carmen can do about that. So the more she gets on live, the more she talks, the more she's digging herself a hole. So I say let her talk. I say let her get online and make a fool of herself. And that's just going to be more evidence that Corinna has. And we all know that Corinna is very smart. And if anybody thinks for a second that Corinna's not going to get what's owed to her and that she's going to let this go, does not know Corinna well. Because I know Corinna well enough to know that once this happened to her, once she started pursuing the defamation case, she has the right lawyers in place to ensure that she gets what's rightfully hers. And she's not going to stop until she gets it. And when Carmen comes online and she says, I don't got any money, let it go. You go your way, I go my way. No, that's not how it works. She went through years of this. Carmen is the one who filed the suit. Carmen is the one that let Lena and Tate talk her in to filing this suit because Tay thought that she should defend her honor. She thought that she should get online and protect her and go to the courts and protect her. And so Tay created all this. I don't think for a second it was anyone else. Now, I do think that Lena jumped on the bandwagon real quick. I do believe that. But what I don't believe is that it was anyone else that coerced her into filing this claim, that she would have pursued it at the level she did, other than Tay. Tay was upset because we were telling the truth about her. She was upset that we were exposing her. And she wanted Carmen to go after Corinna. Because from the very beginning, as I told you guys before, Corinna wanted, or Tay wanted Corinna out of the picture. She wanted to get one up on Corinna. She couldn't take the business. She couldn't do any of that. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to do the next best thing. I want you to take her to court. So Carmen did that like a big dummy, a fool. She lost all her money. She gambled her money. They paid for surgeries. They paid for trips. They paid for lavish things. They paid for things that were unnecessary, but they did it, and that's their right. But they couldn't even afford a lawyer because they did that. So because they couldn't afford a lawyer, Carmen went in there looking like a big ass dummy and couldn't even put together a defense for herself when she's the one that filed the lawsuit. So judgment comes down. She didn't even refute the judgment, you guys. She didn't even contest it. It went uncontested. The entire suit that Corinna laid out for the judge with her attorney, Carmen did not combat that at all. Like a big dummy. And she lost. And now she owes 2.3 million. And now she has a problem with it. But she's the one that took Corinna to court. It wasn't the opposite. Corinna did not take Carmen to court. Now, Corinna countersued her, and Corinna retained a lawyer. She hired a lawyer, and then she gathered evidence, prepared her case, and then she won. Yeah, a judgment, it is, Wilma. A judgment is a piece of paper that comes down from the judge, and that if you don't honor and do what is required by that judgment, the judge has the right and reserves the right to create some punishments, or to create a lot of what do I want to say? The judge has the right to extend other issues to Carmen. And I think that Carmen is in over her head right now. I think that she's too far gone to get out of it. I think she is in this situation where she has nothing to lose. And because she has nothing to lose, Carmen is making a fool of herself and those people around her. If I was anyone in Carmen's vicinity, I would move away from her. She is a ticking time bomb. I think she's having manic episodes. I think that she's gambling. I don't think for a second that she's not. Look at her, you guys. She looks dirty. She looks like she hasn't bathed in weeks. She looks like she's not washing her clothes. It looks like that she's living out of her truck. She's at a gas station selling food in 100-degree weather with the same clothes on, the same bra on. I mean, she looks bad. If I was her family, and this is, I'm being honest about this, if I was Carmen's family, I would schedule an intervention and I would check her into a hospital like ASAP, because I think this 2.3 million has been the nail. And there's no coming back from this for her. This is her karma. This is something that she's never going to be able to fully pay back. I do agree with her in her life from earlier when she said that she was broke. I believe that. When she said she didn't have any money, I believe that. I believe that she is making just enough money from her food truck just to survive. She can't get proper housing in Atlanta. I heard she's staying with some guy in Atlanta. She has no life right now. She has no one to go to. She has nothing to fall back on. She has no money. So when you don't have anything to lose, you're willing to risk it all. And that's what we're seeing in front of us right now. She's willing to risk it all because she doesn't have anything and she doesn't have anything to lose. And she has no support system from her so called wife. Her wife, you can tell she's distancing herself from her. And that's clear. You know, when she went on, when Tay went online the other day, I heard her say, you know what? I don't know about what anybody else is doing, but I'm not a scammer. So that right there to me proved to me that she's saying that Carmen is, this is what I read without her saying it, that Carmen is a scammer, that I'm not associated with that. And just because I am married to a scammer, you can't put that on me that I'm a scammer. I'm my own person. That's what I gathered out of that. And so when Carmen gave up everything to be with Tay, her business, her home, her cars, her family, she thought that Tay was going to do the same. And it's been clear that Tay is in it for herself and that she by no means is going to step in front of Carmen and defend Carmen or help Carmen with her legal issues. She's not going to do it at all. If she's married, she's going to divorce her so that she has no affiliation and alignment with what Carmen is going through with the courts. And I knew it. As soon as, Carmen was talking her shit online, I knew that Corinna was not only going to take this motion into effect, that Understand, Corinna, anywhere that she can squeeze the money out of, she's going to get it. And Carmen does have some things in her name, and those things could be compromised. Arlene says telling people to buy the food and she will cook it. What? I missed that. Hold on. Telling Arlene said telling people to buy the food and she will cook it. Yeah, she's broke. Oh man, I didn't hear that. Oh man. Can you imagine? Do you guys know that they talk a lot about karma and people getting what they deserve and their karma. But do you guys know how much money Carmen has seen over the course of these years from Facebook checks? From what she scammed people out of when she would have cash app hauls for the homeless people. Do you know how much money she has seen? I mean, I know it's been hundreds of thousands easily, within a course of a short amount of time. And to know that she has nothing to show for it, she keeps saying that she's okay, but the more she's saying okay, understand that means she's not okay. The more that she says she's not bothered, the more she is bothered. And Carmen has literally no way to make money. Her wife is funding her what do you call them, her little carnival tours that she does, so they have just enough money to take on another carnival. And then that money has to be put back into their house and to bills. And then Tay gives her just a little bit more so she can go out and do another carnival. That's how she is living, carnival to carnival right now. So she's hurt. She knows what she's lost. She was at the helm of a $1 million company that she walked away from because her wife told her to walk away from it. Her wife told her she was going to be good, that they would make it without it, but they haven't. Instead, Carmen got countersued. She lost. She owes $2.4 million, and she's licking her wounds right now. Wilma says she got mad because no one would double tap the live and with her, and she ended up, yeah. I mean, you got to think. She's not making money, so what's the point of her being online now if she's not making money? She has other people in her camp that are probably making more money than her right now. She's a disaster. Instead of trying to rebuild, instead of reconnecting with loved ones that she um, took advantage of, and that she put Tay before them, and that she probably said some crazy things to, instead of rebuilding those relationships, she's still fighting to the end to try to salvage her online reputation. I mean, it's gone, it's ruined. She will never be, ever. And no one else did that to her but her. And she keeps talking about the group. You guys, she cannot keep the group out of her mouth. She wakes up and she goes to the debunk group. She wakes up to look at what everyone in the group is saying, every comment that is made. She is dissecting it all. I know that because she goes online and she talks about it, but I also know because somebody that was going to be in her wedding party, when they were talking to us, they were telling us that Carmen was obsessed with the groups. She was obsessed with going to my page, obsessed with going to the groups, that she would wake up and she would literally log in to Facebook and she would go right to the groups. And then she would be talking shit about it, about what was being said about her. And then they told me one day her phone was dead, like when she woke up, and that she asked to borrow that person's phone so she can go and look at what was said on my page and in the groups. That's how obsessed she was with what was being said about her in a private group and on my page. If you're not bothered by us, if you're so unbothered, why do you keep going to our page, our group? But I said, let her watch. I say, let her listen to the videos that we're posting. Let her watch what we post on there, because all it's doing is controlling exactly what her mood is going to be for the day. It's controlling how she thinks, it's controlling her mindset, and it has her shook up. She keeps saying that, oh, Corinna's in the group and Corinna is telling people what to do. And that's all not a perception, but that's all in her head. It's all on what she is projecting out. That's everything that she's done. She's assuming other people are doing it, and that's not the case. We have debunked that already. Nobody, has conversations with Corinna about what to say, what to do. No, we just align ourselves with what's right. We've seen the bullshit. I speak out because I know who you are and what you've done to people. And I have um the advantage of clicking my live if I choose to, or anyone else who decides to talk about it, and talk the truth about what you've done and what you've said and how you behaved. But again, you don't accept any responsibility, Carmen, for things that you've done, things that you've created. You've put yourself in this situation. So own it and deal with it and pay Corinna her money. But I can tell you what's not going to happen. We're not going to stop speaking the truth. We're not going to stop shining a light on things that you do. So you're going to have to deal with that forever if you decide to keep coming over to the group or people running back to you. But again, I think she's in the group disguised as someone else, which, okay, if you want to put yourself through the heartache of being in a group where people are talking about you that don't, I couldn't imagine just sitting in a group with people that didn't like me and me just looking at that and filling my head with all of those things. Man, that would probably drive me crazy like it's driving Carmen crazy. But again, she's doing it to herself. So I say let her be in the group. Let her keep talking about the group. She's never going to stop talking about the group and the content in the group. But I can tell you, we're going to always um, showcase all the wrongdoings that she has done. She's harmed and hurt a lot of people throughout her lifetime. And this is just the time where she's being exposed for it. Oh yeah. She wants, it's okay for Carmen to comment on other people's lives uh when it's positive about her. So what's the difference in Corinna doing that? Why does she feel like she doesn't want Corinna to say and do anything that Corinna wants to do? Like, how childish and juvenile is that? You're mad because she's in a group. For one thing, why are you checking for Corinna like that? That shows you how obsessed you are, because you are following Corinna wherever Corinna goes, because Corinna don't care about anything that you're doing. So why are you following Corinna in a group? If you weren't bothered, then why are you even jumping online and talking about it? And you're talking about her serving hot dogs and bratwurst, but baby, those hot dogs and bratwurst has her living in a $2 million home. Those hot dogs and bratwurst got her going on a 16-day excursion from Canada all the way to Hawaii. Those bratwurst and hot dogs has her living a wonderful lifestyle. Let's see here. Carriage Ride said, Corinna is grown and can do as she pleases. She's not bothering anyone or doing anything illegal. Exactly. She can definitely do that. Corinna, if she wants to talk her shit, or if she wants to remain silent, or if she wants to jump online and talk about her multi-million dollar businesses and talk about her multi-million dollar home and talk about her $100,000 cars and talk about her $1,000 trip. She can do that. That's within her right. And she could do that because she's the queen of Atlanta. And that's what queens do. They boss up. Arlene says, Boss Lady has been in the group. She was quiet until she won. That's what you call being smart. Yep, I agree. Jacqueline said, Good evening, everyone. Enjoying this live. Thank you. Let's see. She said, Arlene said, lying, talking about Tay told her not to sell the business. No, we know that's absolutely false, you guys. Tay spearheaded the entire scheme. It whatever she tried, the scandal, whatever you call it, Tay organized that with the help of Lena. And Carmen was the big dummy that just went along with it. She did all that in the honor of Tay, and she's still defending Tay. When I'm telling you, Tay wouldn't do the same for her at all. It's laughable, it's funny, and I'm so glad Tay is treating her this way. I'm so glad that Tay treats her like shit because this is exactly the karma that Carmen deserves. Yep. And you're right about that, Jacqueline. Those Vienna sausages got her son set up as well. Absolutely. Her son, a millionaire. I know that. I haven't really, been following his journey, but I already know the vision that he set and the goals that he set and the path he created. And I'm telling you, you want your children to go down certain paths, but he had his own path. He was so sure of his business and what it would do and help people, and he went out to pursue it, and look at what it has begun or become. It has blown up into, I know, probably a multi-million dollar business, and I'm really proud of him. And I know Corinna's proud of him. And I know that that's eaten away at Carmen too. To know that someone that you watched grow up has catapulted into $1 million business under the I Got You brand, while she's sitting over there in whatever, I can't remember the city that you guys called it, something Grove, sitting at the gas station behind a grill in a lawn chair, smoking ribs in 100 and something degree weather just to make a dollar. But I think she's just making enough so she can go gambling. There's nobody there to keep an eye on her right now. I think Tay's given up on her. I do. Did they run her out of Texas because she's so called She's in Atlanta. I don't know what she's in Atlanta for. I think she was asked to do an event and she's been there since the event. You got to remember she's couch hopping. And when you really don't have ambition, if you don't have goals, you don't have a plan, you don't have money, you're kind of roaming aimlessly through life. And she is, 1 minute she's at the gas station and 1 minute she's inside of a building. She doesn't have a plan. She is holding on to straws right now and trying to get anything to shake just to get her a dollar. She can't scam anymore, not online anyway. So she has to do it privately if she is scamming, because she knows we're going to light it up if she does. That we are watching every move she makes when it comes to online, to ensure that she doesn't take advantage of anybody online. Now, what she does behind closed doors and while the camera's off is what she does. I know she's probably plotting and scheming, but she can't go online. And that's where she can generate more attention and more views and likes. And that's the only thing she's ever known. She doesn't have a sense of belonging outside of her online supporters. She doesn't have real friends. She doesn't have a real job. So she goes online so that people can make her feel like she's enough, because she doesn't feel that on her own and she doesn't have people around her to make her feel that way. So she tries to hold on to the people who are blinded by things that she does and are accepting of her poor behavior, because that's all that she has. If Facebook was to shut down right now, I guarantee you Carmen would probably have to check herself into a mental institution, because she doesn't know anything else. Wilma says she was out shopping for the same equipment she has bought over and over again. Yep, you're right about that. Christina said, boss lady filed that one document. They want income tax records. Listen, you guys, when they say, oh shit, she done opened a can of worms. Do you guys know that everything that we've been talking about, for people to start investigating, her tax filings, her tax returns, the court is going to do that. They are going to go after anything that has Carmen's name on it. I'm talking a receipt book. I'm talking about a credit card statement, a bank statement, um, a carnival that she registered for, any entry that she has made. They're going to check probably her flights. They're going to check any and everything that she's done. And when they do that, they're also able to see not only what's coming in, but what she's also taking out. So they're going to be able to see all that. And this is the thing, Carmen can't stop that. She is at the mercy of the courts. And I'm telling you, they are going to show no mercy with her when it comes to putting a plan together, showing all of her I would say all of everything related to her business, what she's put into her business, what she gets in from her business, what she takes out. They are going to monitor it like a hawk. She thinks that Tay is on her money like white on rice. The courts are going to be on it way harder than Tay has ever been on it. So if I was Carmen, if I was somebody in her corner that cared even a iota about her, I would tell her to shut the fuck up and get offline, because everything she does online, you don't think that it's being screen recorded? You don't think all of the defamatory statements that she's been making about Corinna and the business is not being recorded to show proof to the courts? I mean, how dumb can she be? It's almost like somebody is setting her up to do all these things, to make a fool of herself. Carriage said that court order is so detailed. It's about everything: furniture, bank accounts, and even the VIN number on the food truck that she got in the settlement. Corinna is not to be played with. I'm telling you, everything, every asset, everything you own, hell, everything you don't own. If you lease something, I even think I read that. Anything that she leases, they are coming after everything. If she doesn't have 2.3 million, if she has $2,000, they're coming after that. And Carmen could try to save face as much as she wants to and come online like she doesn't care, like it's a piece of paper. But I'm telling you, IRS is on a different level. Yeah, the court, that was a civil case, but I'm telling you, if they start digging into her taxes, IRS, that's something that can be jail time. Not only that you have to pay for not filing, but people go to jail for tax evasion. I mean, look at all these celebrities that went to jail for tax evasion. So she may be thinking it's just a piece of paper, but I'm telling you, she's about to get a rude awakening from a lot of um, different avenues, not only from the court but also from the IRS. And I'm telling you, that's just somebody you don't, we laugh and joke all the time, and there's certain people that you just don't play with. And the IRS is probably at the top of the list with that. The government is always going to come back for their money. Yeah, I think you can. I don't, this is the thing, Carriage. I am not a savvy when it comes to legal proceedings, and when something like this happens with a judgment, a civil judgment. But I do know there's consequences that the court will uphold if you don't follow the judgment. They will, whether you ignore it. She can try to ignore it, you guys, but that will only dig herself a deeper hole, because all that does is err on the side of Corinna with no fight. And so when Corinna files this motion and Carmen doesn't show the proper documentation that the court it's not an ask, it's a demand. So the court, and you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard when the courts speak, they always speak very authoritative, meaning, we demand you to do these things. You have to comply. And when you don't comply, again, they are going to put things in place to make certain that Corinne or Carmen is held accountable. Now, what the contempt would be, I don't know if it would be fines or jail time. I mean, look what they do. If a person that owes child support does not pay their child support, there are times when they are sent to jail. Then they got to go before the judge and they got to put a payment plan together with the judge. And then they have to, it's strict. You have to comply with that. So I don't see why it will be any different in a situation like this. If you are disrespecting the judgment of the courts, I'm sure they are going to make sure that they make an example out of Carmen. Wilma says, I am retired and still file taxes with the IRS yearly. Yes, I would love to get an attorney up here, one that specializes in civil lawsuits and specifically defamation lawsuits. I would love to hear some insight from them on this. Give me just a second, you guys. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, child support, they can lose their license, income tax, plus go to jail. Yeah, so I don't see why it would be any different. She is blatantly going online saying what she's not going to get. She's telling Corinna on live from her own mouth that she is not going to pay her. Then she's getting online expressing how much money she's making, that she's the queen of Atlanta, that she's selling out of plates and selling plates for $23. So you're showcasing that you're making money, but then you're also saying that you don't have any money. So you're playing in the court's face. This isn't about Corinna at this point. This is about the court of law. This is about DeKalb County. This is about the IRS. So this is way bigger than this judgment at this point. Arlene said, that's facts. My uncle went to prison for not filing taxes. Yep. You can only get away with it so long. You may think you've gotten away with it. You may think, oh, I can go 5, 6 years and it hasn't caught up with me yet. So you feel like you're getting away with this. I'm telling you, it's not. It only makes it worse. The longer you go without filing, the worse it gets for you. So when they go and they're asking for her tax returns, you guys. The courts want to see her tax returns. And let me tell you what's going to happen. Say she didn't file taxes last year, 2025, 2024. Say she didn't file taxes. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to make her file those taxes. And then they're going to put a freeze on all of it. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse for her. Good evening, Vanessa. Yep, she sure doesn't. She does not know when to be quiet. And I want to say this, just the audacity for her to get online. I would feel shame. I'm online. I just lost a $2.4 million lawsuit. I don't have anywhere to live, anywhere to go, no money. I couldn't afford an attorney. My wife is making me look like a fool. I've lost all my friends. I don't have any family, and I get online and have the nerve to talk about my ex with her ex. Do you know how foolish that made her look? It said more about her than it will ever say about Stephanie. That you are married, supposedly, have a wife, and you get online with her ex, and both of you are online pressed about her. That just shows you that you're hurt about the Stephanie situation. You're hurt that she kicked you out after she found out about the Gibsons, after you were supposed to give that money to them and you didn't give the money to them. And then you go gambling the money that was supposed to be for the Gibsons. You're damn right. She kicked you out. She actually threw your shit out on the porch, probably changed the locks, and you were not allowed in. So you were homeless once again. This is a pattern, you guys, if you don't know. She gets in a relationship really quick. She fucks up. She gets kicked out and she has nowhere to go. So Corinna was nice enough to let her live in her basement after Stephanie kicked her out, and had the nerve to talk about Stephanie, has the nerve to talk about Corinna when they are the ones that did the most for you out of everyone. Tay hasn't done shit for you because all of these issues that you have now. And she is walking away scot free with the little business with 100 and something thousand followers. She's not worried about Carmen anymore. And if she is, it's just so Carmen can continue paying her bills. You hear me? How stupid did they look? Sitting under a tree at a gas station in 100-degree weather with nothing else to talk about other than Stephanie. I guarantee you, Stephanie is not sitting up anywhere talking about either one of them clowns. Both of them broke. Both of them don't really have anywhere to go. From what I hear, that the lady who are Angela or Angie, scammed her way into the house, got kicked out of the house, and now she's not even there. So both of them sitting out on the street with nowhere to go, trying to be messy. Yeah. Jacqueline says she needs to shut everything down, take her rest, and go work off the debt for free. Yeah. Yeah, she does. But she's not going to do that because she's trying to save face. She's trying to live up to a persona that she has online, that she has it all figured out, and she's that girl and she makes money. But just today she said she's broke. She has no money. But then in the same breath saying that she has the best food trucks in Atlanta and that all Corinna sells is hot dogs and bratwurst. So tell me, if you're behind a stove making ribs, chicken, fish, fries, and doing all that, how the hell is Corinna outselling you off bratwurst and hot dogs? So that tells me that Corinna, her overhead is not as high, that you are buying and purchasing all these things and basically not being able to have a big return. I think it's smart business the way that Karina's doing it. I mean, her business model works. She's not only kept I Got You seasoning going, she's grown I Got You seasonings. All of her businesses are thriving. I think Tay done kicked her out for sure. I think all that I haven't seen Tay. I mean, not that, it wouldn't be meaningful even if I did see her, but she's doing her own thing. And I'm certain that the couple friends that she has is wanting her to distance herself from Carmen, especially with this lawsuit, because I don't know how the marital piece of it works if your spouse is accountable and responsible for your debt. I know in certain states it works differently, so I'm not sure how that works. And I also seen in that court proceeding it said anything with Carmen's name on it. So remember, you guys, you know that they probably have some joint accounts, and that if Carmen's name is attached to it with Tay, I'm sure they can do something with that. And then if the court, I remember when I was going through a divorce, that you had to account for every asset. I'm talking everything, you guys. I had to account for property, jewelry, all the cars. You have to account for everything in that divorce. And they want to know what you have coming in from everywhere. And you got to show proof. And not only that, is they make sure that you cannot take out more than what your cost of living is, let's say for that month. So I couldn't drain out a bank account. So if the courts award Corinna this motion and they begin doing that and pursuing the money by different avenues, I'm telling you, they're going to make it to where you cannot deplete the bank account. They will freeze it first before she can ever do that. So she may think she's smart. She may think she's going to get away with it. She may think that, oh, I'm going to keep my money, to be majority cash coming in so they don't know. They're going to watch everything she does, every purchase she makes. Cousin Kim said, Tay always saying she fly in to pick up the money. So what account that carnival money going to? Absolutely. Because they're charging people this. They're charging people a certain percentage when they use their credit cards. That money is going somewhere. It's probably going into her Cash App. So I hope Corinna made sure she put $ Chef Carmen 1 as something that the courts needs to look into as well, because I believe that's where a lot of her the money that she is making from the carnivals is going into. Or if Tay is the money hungry gold digger that I know she is, then she probably has her account set up to where all the money is going straight into her bank account, which I'm certain potentially Carmen has access to, maybe. But again, as I let that come out of my mouth, I'm thinking that Carmen is so goddamn stupid that it's probably in Tay's name only. Nick said Benzoid probably holding her money for her. Now, trust me, Benzoid's giving her money. And that's another thing. That's a source of income that they have. So, Corinna, if you hear me, I know that you're in Hawaii and Honolulu. I love Hawaii a lot. But, Corinna, if you listen to this or if you replay it, you need to make sure that you add Benzoid as a potential stream of income for Carmen. I think they need to check all the cash apps. They need to check everything that Benzoid sends them, and I think that you should get 75% of that too. Kim said, "Don't forget the big payout she is hoping to get from the life insurance." Oh, and she did. That was one of the first things that Tay did, was get life insurance. You remember she had the life insurance agent come to her house. I don't even think they were married at the time when she did the whole health screening, and set up the life insurance policy on Carmen. Kim said exactly, and that is what's going to fuck Tay up. Even, let me see, I can't read it. Even if it is in Tay's name only. Yep, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, when you are married, you take on the debt of your spouse. And again, some states could be different. I'm no lawyer, I'm no attorney, but there's going to be things where both of their names are jointly on there, and the courts can come after that. As long as Carmen's name is attached to it, the courts are going to go after it. And let me tell you, if you try to finagle your way out of it, and let's say they scramble right now because this motion just came down, right? So if I'm a big dummy like Carmen, I'm thinking, oh, I'm just going to take my name off of it. Tay, shut down your account. I'm telling you, the banks are going to be able to recover. They're going to be able they're going to go to the bank and they're going to demand that the bank tell them all the historical data about that account and what has happened, what has transpired, if the account is closed, if it's moved, if this person's name is moved off of this account, they're going to find out all of that. There's no running, there is no hiding from this. They're coming for everything that is owed to Corinna. So if I was Carmen, like she says, wave the white flag, I'd wave the white flag. I'd make sure that I went to the courts. I set up a payment plan, whether if it's $50, whatever it is, whatever percentage she makes from the carnivals that she does, a percentage should off the top go to Corinna. Man or Marty said, can she file bankrupt? I'm not certain of that. I don't know how a defamation lawsuit and filing bankruptcy, how that coincide. Now, this is what I do know. Remember when Cardi B filed that lawsuit against Tasha K? I don't know if anybody remembers that. I do know that, Tasha K, she gets online and she tells, her followers, and she's speaking to Cardi, and she was like, I don't have the money. My persona, looks as if I have all this money, but I don't have enough money to pay you back the millions that I owe you. So I know that she is still going through that. And Cardi B is still wanting her money. And I believe she's on a payment plan. And I don't know if a bankruptcy would take away that defamation suit. I don't know enough about law, but I feel like I want to research this and get in touch with an attorney and just find out kind of the process after someone files a defamation suit and wins, and how they can legally collect their money, and what are the repercussions when the other party does not pay. I know that, there's a lot of legal jargon that goes into this, and I'm just not equipped to talk through that. But I think I want to find an attorney that does. What connects them is the videos. Uh-huh. Remember, they was calling Tay the new boss lady, and Tay says she's Carmen's new partner. Yep, not at all. Not at all. Those are, I call them the two broke bitches. That's what they are. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. I said that in my last live. They want everything that Corinna has. They're jealous. They're envious. They're mad that Corinna keeps winning, and they're trying to do everything they can to take her down, and they can't touch her. That's what they're really mad about. They're mad that Corinna um, sits up and talks about all the things that she has, which, you know what, rightfully so, she should. I'm proud of who she is and what she has. But Carmen's not, because that's the life that Carmen wanted. That's the life that Carmen almost had. Yep. That's what connects Tay to Carmen. It is the money. That's the only thing that's keeping Carmen there. And at this point, Tay doesn't have a job. She doesn't have a career. She's broke. She doesn't have any money. So she's desperate. She's desperate enough to stay with Carmen so that Carmen can still pay her mortgage, still pay her utilities, still give her money to where she can travel, and to maybe get a surgery here or there. And that's what's keeping Tay, because Tay doesn't have a job. Tay doesn't work. Tay doesn't make anything off social media. Tay doesn't make nothing off of her businesses. I'm just reading some of you all's comments. Uh, Kim said, check the Love at First Bite business that they both are using. Absolutely. And let me not get on the Hearts Foundation. That was just a total like scam. The money that was coming in to personal cash apps, and money that was, coming in, no financial records showing what you had coming in, what you had going out. If was a true nonprofit, it was not working as a true nonprofit. And do you see how that just kind of disappeared altogether? Nothing more said, nothing more done about it. When you do it just for a temporary thing, that's a money grab. To me, that screams money grab. Let me do this in the name of this nonprofit. Let me hustle, make some money, and then let me go back to doing what I'm doing. Then, if I need more money, I'm going to create another little tag to get people funding. My nonprofit, and make it seem like I'm doing all these things. Like, the Prince family said they came in with 10 goddamn toys. They made it seem like they were doing all these big things, and it was their supporters that sent the 10 goddamn toys. Tay didn't use any of her money. Now tell me how that's not a scam. She keeps saying I'm not a scammer. When you went to the Prince's Christmas event, you showed up like you were there to help, went online, made it seem like that was your event because you didn't shout them out. Then you came in with 10 toys, was having your supporters donate money to you as if you were just doing this huge thing for the community. And you probably got kicked back a lot of it, the money. So, Tay, how isn't that a scam? I dare you to get online and tell me how what you did for that Christmas party was not a scam. I dare you to. Since you're talking about daring people to do this and how you're going to show people online, I dare you to get up on your platform and tell your people how that was not a scam. I bet you won't, because it was. That whole nonprofit is a scam. And I hope the IRS comes for that too. Jacqueline says, remember when they went house hunting, wasting the real estate lady's time? Tay wants to be, yes, she wants to be Corinna so bad. That's what life she has been hustling her entire life to achieve. She wants that status. And she's mad and angry that she thought she was going to get that life when she met Carmen. She thought she had hit a gold mine when she met Carmen, when Kim told her the backstory of Carmen and how this could be, a money grab, a hustle for her. But Kim didn't think that through too well. I remember talking to Kim and Kim saying, you know what? I thought it was going to be, hey, get in and get out. But then, Tay was really in it and really taking Carmen to the bank. So much so that Kim tried to talk to Carmen behind the scenes privately about it to tell her what she knew and how Tay really did know who she was. And then what happens? Carmen had an issue with Kim. Everybody's jealous of them. Everybody wants to be them. Instead of looking at it for what it truly is, somebody trying to look out for you, but she looks at it as people hating on her. Yeah, I mean, Arlene, please. I mean, I want them to go on because feeding souls. Okay, Corinna, if you're on this live, Corinna, if you're not watching this live, please watch the replay. And if you could please add another exhibit to your motion. I saw a lot of the things you wanted them to take into consideration, but please can you make sure that you include Carmen's Cash App, that you include the Feeding Souls page, the Facebook page, and the Cash App for Feeding Souls as well, because those need to be investigated too. Kim says, right, because Tay has been silent partners. Let me go up. In all of her businesses, and all of them are either or ain't fucking either her like that no more. Yep, that waist trainer lady. All of them have disappeared. All of them have moved away from them. Look at the couple from Washington, D.C. Everybody they come in contact with, they remove themselves. And it's not because of what other people are saying about them. They probably got an earful of people coming into their inboxes telling them to be careful, but they still did not pass judgment based on that. I can guarantee you that. Let me tell you what it was. What happened was is that they found out for themselves who Carmen and Tay were. They had personal dealings, they had personal experiences from them themselves. And they made that decision to walk away, to back away from them. All of their friends and the ones that they have right now, which I don't even know if they have any, I haven't seen any of them. I truly have really not seen Carmen around any of her friends that she's had in the past. Have you guys? Please tell me if you've seen her with any of her friends. All right, nobody said anything. So, I mean, we must be on to something. All right, how long have I been here? Hour and 15. Okay, you guys. I know it's late. I know it's a school night and it's a work night, but I had to come online and um I had to give my 2 cents on Carmen in this situation with the new motion that Corinna has dropped on us. Now I can tell you, and I'll leave it with this: Corinna is not playing, and I'm certain that in a perfect world, that Corinna would just like to get move past this and beyond this and settle this like two adults and hey, pay me my money, you move your way and I'll move my way. But she's not dealing with a normal human being, you guys. She's dealing with somebody with the third grade education, a third grade mindset. She's developmentally challenged, so she is having to do things different and move differently to combat this lady who's lost it all. Again, I say when people have lost it all, they have nothing to lose. So she has to play differently. She has to go through the courts. She's not, you can't just ask Carmen for the money and Carmen's going to give the money. The court is going to have to strong arm Carmen into paying for everything that Corinna is owed. If I was Carmen, if I was her team, I'm telling you, I would make her shut down her social media. I would make her stop talking. I would make her get to work. I would make her set back 70% of her earnings. I would start setting up a payment plan with the courts. I would show that I am attempting to resolve this matter the right way. But Carmen's never going to do that. So what we are going to see in the near future is literally the downfall of Carmen, and that could be through jail time, through more fees, through the IRS stepping in. We're getting this has just begun, you guys. We are literally sitting front row to a disaster that is evolving right in front of us. Mhm. Kim Sate has absolutely Carmen from our. Yeah, she's isolated her. She is. That's her motive. That's what she does. That's what her ex has said. She comes in. She plays like, oh, I'm so innocent. I'm just this good girl. But she plays like she doesn't have this past that supersedes her. It's a pact or the fact that she tries to fake like she's somebody that she's really not. Like she's so appalled by criminals when she's a criminal herself. That baffles me. But this has just begun. I am. I can reassure you guys that this is just the beginning to what's going to unfold in this saga when it comes to this lawsuit. And Carmen's not going to be quiet. She's not going to listen to anybody. She's going to do whatever she wants to, and it's not going to go well for her. But again, everything that has happened to her this far is exactly what she deserves because she has wronged so many people during her lifetime that this is exactly the results of what she has done. All right, you guys. I just again wanted to come on here just for a bit and talk about this. I'm certain that Carmen's going to go live. She's going to be in our group. So post away, you guys. So Carmen, you should see probably about 15 to 20 more posts about you. So you might want to be bright and early, looking at all the comments and looking at all the posts, and then go live and cry about it. That everybody bothers you, that you're just minding your own business, that these times are hard that we live in. Go through all those things that you do, then start cussing us out, start crying, and then talk about that you do right by people and that you've helped people your entire life, then cuss us out some more. It's just a cycle that you go through. That's the definition of psychotic, when you keep doing the same thing and accepting or expecting a different result. So Carmen, I am so happy that you received the notification about the new motion. I'm so excited that you're going to have to uphold to all of the court's requests. I'm so happy that you're going to have to show your tax returns or lack thereof, that you're going to have to show bank statements, that you're going to have to show events that you've been to, leases that you're a part of. I am so happy for it all. So, Carmen, please tune in to Debunking the Lies. We are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for your pleasure. You will see people of all walks of life in our group. You will see career driven people. You will see business owners. You will see retired people. You're going to see Corinna. You're going to see me. All the cousins you're going to see in there that just look at you and laugh on a day to day basis and expose you for the filthy bitch that you are. And I'll leave it with that, you guys. Cousins, have a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys over in the private group that we have, where we can chat it away. All right. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys in the group. Bye.